In the deep, silent dark of the earth, there lay a tiny seed. It was no bigger than a freckle, pressed down by the immense weight of the soil above. It was cold, and it was alone. All around it was the endless quiet of the underground world. But inside this tiny seed, a whisper lived, a memory of the great tree it came from, of leaves dancing in the wind, of the warm, golden sun. And the whisper said, "I can be more. I can reach the light." A grumpy old stone, buried nearby for 1,000 years, grumbled, "Foolish thing, the darkness is all there is. The weight will crush you. You are nothing." But the little seed held on to its whisper, a tiny spark of belief in the crushing dark. Winter came, and the cold seeped deep into the earth, a biting frost that promised an endless sleep. The seed shivered, curling in on itself, protecting that fragile spark. Then came the spring rains. They were not gentle, they were a torrent, a flood that turned the soil into a thick, suffocating mud. The seed felt itself drowning, its tiny shell weakening. The old stone laughed a low, grinding laugh. "I told you, the world is too strong and you are too small." But even as it struggled for breath, the seed pushed back. With a strength it didn't know it had, it held on to its belief. "I will grow." And then something changed. A faint, gentle warmth began to filter down from above. Sunlight. The spark inside the seed roared into a flame. It gathered all its energy, all its hope, and it pushed. It pushed against the mud, it pushed against the pebbles, it pushed against the weight of the world. And then it broke through. With a final determined shove, a tiny green sprout burst into the air, into a world of blinding light and endless blue sky. It was terrifying, and it was beautiful. The journey was not over. The sprout was fragile. A harsh wind tried to snap its tender stem. A long, dry summer baked the ground, and its new roots searched desperately for water. But for every challenge, there was a reward. The sun fed it. The morning dew gave it drink. Inch by inch, day by day, it grew taller. Seasons turned. The sprout became a sapling, the sapling a young tree. Its trunk grew thicker, its roots dug deeper, anchoring it to the very earth that had once tried to smother it. One year, a great storm descended upon the valley. The sky turned black, and the wind howled with a terrible fury. Mighty trees, old and proud, groaned and split, their branches crashing to the ground. The villagers ran for shelter, watching in fear. The young tree faced the storm's full power. The wind tore at its leaves and bent its trunk until it nearly touched the earth. It was tested to its very core. But the roots that had grown through darkness and doubt, they held firm. The tree bent, but it did not break. When the sun finally returned, it shone down on a village changed and on a tree that stood taller and prouder than ever before. Decades passed. The little seed that believed grew into a magnificent, sprawling tree, its branches a vast leafy canopy that shaded the entire village square. Children laughed and played beneath its limbs. Elders gathered to share stories in its cool, gentle shade. For the story of the great tree teaches us a simple, profound lesson. Patience and belief in yourself are the soil and sunlight for the soul. They can help you grow through any darkness and withstand any storm.